You've really took one for the team there. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. That was a filthy job. Yeah, it's never fun doing the cleanup after a big demolition job like we did last week. We chased out and removed all of the concrete that's between all the stonework. So I've just been going around with an air gun, blasting out all of the loose concrete and dirt from all the nooks and crannies and crevices.
It's looking a lot cleaner in here anyway. Not so sure about your own nooks and crannies, but the stonework looks good. In recent weeks, a number of people have spotted something and they've been asking us questions about it. Well, this week we're going to clear it up. So this is the thing in question. Are we going to have a fireman's pole? Is it going to be a strip club? No, not a strip club, a pole dancing club. You were far too keen to do that.
As you might be able to tell by the cheeky little love handles here, it's a prop because some of you might remember we put purlins up on this roof, and if you go up, Victoria, you will see this is propping up one of the purlins because it's still not got any stonework to support it on that end. So there might be a few of you thinking, aren't you meant to put the purlins up before you put the rafters and the rest of the roof up? Yes, you're correct. If you don't know the story of why we've got these up, basically when the calculations were done for the roof, we were supposed to use one particular type of tile, a particular type of insulation, a particular type of decking, and that design did not include purlins. But when it came to actually ordering the materials for the roof, we messed up on, well, I messed up on the size of the roof decking and ordered the wrong things. So that ended up being heavier. We then couldn't get the tile that had been planned for, so that ended up being heavier. And as a result, it was kind of agreed that to make sure the roof wouldn't sag over time, we were going to need a purlin. So then having to retrospectively put the purlins in was not fun. It was an incredibly awkward job to get these huge long pieces of wood in here, maneuver them up inside at various different angles to get them up on top of the walls, get them pushed up against the roof line. Yeah, it was not much fun. After we put that video out, there was a number of comments of people saying, I'm a builder, I'm a roofer, you don't need that purlin. And ordinarily we kind of disregard comments like that because people don't know the particulars of the project. However, because we didn't want the purlins, we listened and we kind of thought, maybe this is an opportunity to not have them and we'll get a second opinion. So we didn't carry on and do the stonework around the others. So as you can see, our purlin at the front is just being propped up by wood on top of the walls holding it in place and a bit of scrap wood on the back of the rafters to stop it tipping back. So it took us a while to get the second opinion, but when it finally came through, we're both very optimistically hoping we're going to open it up and get the answer that we could take the purlins down and we'll just reuse the wood for something else. But no, it was the same outcome. But at least we know for certain now. So now we just have to press on, get them all supported, and then we can finally get these props down. But before we can move on and do any of that, we need to clear up all of this concrete on the floor because it is everywhere.
I feel like I've collected so many stones already, but I'm pretty sure it's going to work out to be about that much space on the wall.
Yeah, the volume of stones you need to rebuild stone is so deceptive. What can look like quite a big pile when it's all mounded up turns out to be such a small amount when it's all put together on the wall. But we're hoping that we're gonna have enough stone just in kind of big piles like this. We've got plenty of stone across the land, whether it's terrace walls that kind of divide different sections of our land, but ideally we don't want to take them apart.
I'm a bit nervous about coming across a snake in here. We got woken up about, what, 1 or 2 in the morning last night because there was so much commotion in the house, and I thought that Papa got a hold of a mouse or something, but no, it was a snake. And because of where it was, we couldn't do our usual trick of getting the washing up bowl over it, which we've done before.
Just to be clear, that made it sound like Poppy had hold of a snake, not a mouse. She didn't have hold of the snake, and it wasn't poisonous or anything like that. It was just a ladder snake. So yeah, they're not poisonous, but this one was pretty aggressive. I had a broom and I was trying to like keep it in place so we could get it into something, and it was just lunging and hissing and biting the end of the broom. So yeah, there was no way that I was grabbing that and getting bitten, even if it's not poisonous. So we're having to break down and split a lot of these stones that we're going to use to support the purlins, but also to go around the rest of the room. So this is our concrete ring beam that runs all the way around the building on top of all of the stone walls. As you can see, it's set back, so this is the area that we need to fill, so these stones need to be much narrower. So yeah, we got a lot of stones that we need to break. I'm gonna try and break a load now in one session and stockpile them. So I've just kind of got larges, mediums and smalls. And that should speed up the whole process of rebuilding once we've got mortar mixed, because the last thing I wanna be doing is stressing about the mortar going off and having to break more stones.
The house is the cleanest it's been in quite a while, I'd say. It seems like we've just been under a layer of rubble, dust, dirt for goodness knows how many weeks. But it is relatively clean at the moment, so I'm going to take the opportunity and get our window sills cleaned and then sealed. I like the colour when it's wet. Au naturel. Right, so that's them all nice and clean, but I'm going to cover them over until they're totally dry and they can be sealed, because I can guarantee within the next hour, if I don't, some lizard is going to come along and poop on my nice clean sills.
This video is sponsored by Waterdrop. So everyone knows the importance of having clean and safe drinking water. However, you can't always trust that the water from your home's tap is of the best quality. And that's where an electric water filter like this comes in. This filter reduces the levels of more than 30 harmful contaminants, including microplastics, chlorine, heavy metals like lead and mercury, and also chloramine. Each filter has a lifespan of 3 months or 200 gallons, so it's great value for money and much cheaper than buying bottled water. Plus, it'll cut down the number of plastic bottles you use, which is great for the environment too. If you're like us, you are definitely going to forget when you need to change the filter, so thankfully there's a little light on the top which tells you when it's time. This is the biggest of 3 filter pitchers in the range with a massive 27 cup tank, so there's plenty for the whole family. One thing that I especially love is that this one filters water on demand with 1 click. So whereas other pitchers, they filter the water and then store it in a tank where it can potentially grow germs, this one filters the water right before it goes to your cup. You've got the flexibility to use this wherever you like because it doesn't need to be plugged in, and the battery lasts for 30 days off of a single charge. So to guarantee you're drinking clean water daily, check out our link in the description box below along with our discount code to get money off your next water drop electric filter. Cheers. Oh, it's good, it's hot. Whew. Sweaty stash. Just getting reacquainted with my old friend the cement mixer because I'm going to be using it a lot in the coming weeks. I've just mixed up a batch of lime mortar, so now I can go and start the stonework around the first purlin. As you'd expect with any summer's day in Portugal, it's super hot today, so I'm hoping that my lime mortar isn't going to dry out too quickly. If it does end up getting a bit dry, I think all I'll have to do is give my t-shirt a little wring out because it's currently holding about 3 litres. Lovely.
Not quite how you meant to use it.
Do the trick though.
No, got the camera. Brand new bottle, 0 usage, and it's already broken.
This is not the job for a tall man. He's such a squat.
They'll be burning by the end of the day. Our 2 fig trees are on absolute fire at the minute. They're producing so many figs, way more than Ricky and I can possibly eat. The slight problem is that all of the fruit is ripening at the same time, so we have got quite a glut. I'm planning to make some chutneys and preserves from some of it, but I do want to try something slightly different, something I've not done before, and I'm going to try and dry some of them as well. I was pleasantly surprised that not too much of that fruit's been pecked by the birds. I don't actually mind them eating the fruit, but the annoying bit is that they often just have one little peck and then move on to the next one. Anyway, the ones that I have picked, I need to give them a good wash because they are covered in dust and also the occasional bird poop. So a quick rinse in a bath, and then it needs to soak with some apple cider vinegar. Although looking at this, I'm not entirely sure what the dilution needs to be, so hoping I've got enough of it. Oh my, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. So the idea of this thing, I can't believe how big it is. This wasn't even the biggest size they did. It's got 4 layers. You put your stuff in that you want to dry, and then you can just hook it. Well, it's suggested to a tree, but I might try our whirligig, and you can just let it dry in the sun. Yeah, sealed from bugs, and that's about all I know about it, so we'll see how it goes. Hello, knock knock.
Hang on, got music blaring. There we go. You okay?
I'm fine, how are you doing?
Good, hot. Sort of forgot how much hotter it would be right up here than down there.
Yeah, you're basically working in a loft space.
Yeah.
I was going to say it looks good, but actually I can barely even tell where you've worked. It's integrated really nicely.
From like here, and actually the first ones I did were here,
Yeah.
and then all the way up and around.
The only reason I can see it is because it's obviously got the wet mortar in, but yeah.
You can probably see the stones are wet.
Nice job.
But around there, I think once it's dried in, it'll all be good. So finish this one up today, and then get the front one, both sides done tomorrow. Yippee-doo.
Yippee-da-day.
Yippee-doo.
It's hot, darling.
The dogs are just so much lazier at this time of year, just purely because it's so hot. And I understand, because Victoria and I are the same. You don't really want to do too much when the weather's this warm. So even though we take them out in the evenings, like now when the sun's gone down, it's still like high 20s, over 30 degrees. And when there's no breeze, they don't really want to run around. So they're not getting as exhausted as they normally would on a walk. However, this little one definitely needs plenty of stimulation. As you can see, this one is very happy to relax all the time, but if this one doesn't get a run around, she can be not a pest. How would you describe it, Victoria?
Intensely adoring.
Yeah, she will basically just want endless attention. So what we try and do is do kind of more games, teach them tricks, try and do things like that just to get her brain working. Her trick repertoire is getting pretty good. Poppy, come. Good girl. Poppy, spin. Good. Back around. Good. Sit. Good. Paw. Oh, I can't film and do this. Good. High five. Yeah, good girl.
Yeah, the thing with Pop is it's not difficult necessarily to teach her, but it's more about keeping it fresh for her. But I did see a very fun video, slightly more challenging than a high five though.
I'm not particularly confident this is going to work, but we'll give it a go. We got the good stuff. Meaty stick. Here. Okay. Okay. Yes, good girl. Yeah. Yes, good girl. Go, go. Yes. Yes. Very slow.
She's very
Come on. Have a look. Go, go. Yes, good girl. Yep. No. No. Here, Pop. Go. That's it. Go on, Pop. Yes. Up here, go. No, Pop.
Ted wants to go.
This is turning to chaos now. Go, go, go. Yes. Yes. Go, go, go. Yes. Up. Go, go. Yes. Good job.
Not bad for a first attempt.
Yeah. I don't really know how quickly I was expecting that to work, but this is what the end outcome is meant to be. They say you're meant to do it up against a wall. Obviously I did it up against a post, which meant she could run around, but we'll carry on working on it. And I'm sure within the next couple of weeks, we'll get it down and I'll come back and show you then. So today I'm starting the stonework on the front purlin, but before I can start doing that, I actually need to make a bit of a jig because the top of the props are obviously flat and the purlin is on an angle. So what I need to do is make myself a couple more of these. Simple little construction. It's just going to hold it at the right angle and get it pressed up nice and tight against those rafters so I can screw them in.
It's swaying. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, well it's definitely on these now. Okay. It's always a little bit hairy doing that because there's a tipping point where the load of the purlin transfers from the blocks that it's being supported by on top of the wall onto the jig and the prop. And because the jig is kind of really at a bit of an angle, it ends up kind of dropping into it. Yeah, we're in. The props are now firmly pressing the purlins up against the rafters. So now I just need to go around, skew fix in some screws to fix the purlin to the rafters. And then I'll mix some mortar and we'll start rebuilding the stone. I'm about to put some music on and really focus and zone in on this today because this purlin at the front, this is where we've got the double height of the room. So it's going to be really visible when you walk in the door, both left and right. So if this stonework is a bit wobbly and not the best, or it stands out compared to the rest of the wall, you're really going to see it. Especially up on this end because our staircase is going to be kind of going in a L turn and go up there. So obviously when you come off of the mezzanine up here, you're going to be looking straight down the line of that one. So I'm saving that one for last. I'm going to get my practice in on the opposite end. So hopefully this end by the stairs will look perfect.
So the voles in the veg garden are still wreaking havoc. I've lost all of my cucumbers, lettuce and courgettes to them now. But one bit of good news is that the tomatoes, melon and also cabbages are still going strong. These raised beds have gone from being kind of the stars of the show to being very, very empty. All that's left in this one now is a couple of pretty sad mint plants. I've got a couple of terracotta pots spare, so I'm going to dig these two plants up because I don't want to lose another one. I've already lost one of my mint plants to these voles. They're not even meant to like them, but apparently ours have got different tastes to a regular vole. They seem to have burrowed right underneath this mint plant. No wonder you're not looking healthy, pal. before I get the raised beds replanted, I'm going to put down a mesh at the bottom just to stop the voles being able to come through. I've been using these things, these vibrating sticks, and I thought they were working, but maybe it was a fluke, or maybe the voles just got used to it because I've had quite a bit of damage where they were. I also tried spraying cayenne pepper around the place and also some chive plants, but doesn't seem to have deterred them. They're stubborn little critters. So for the rest of the area, I need to figure out a solution because that mesh across this big area is not going to happen. It's pricey stuff.
Working up on the scaffold around these purlins, I've hit my head so many times. Yeah, I'm actually nearly done, maybe about 5 more stones, and that whole front purlin is done, which I'm really happy about because I wasn't too sure earlier on. The first one took quite a while. But yeah, we've probably only got about 45 minutes left until the sun completely sets, so I'm really struggling with light to film in here. So I'm gonna carry on for about another hour. Realistically, I'll probably have to go and get a lamp, but hopefully I can get this done. But I'm gonna leave you here, and hopefully can show you it finished tomorrow. Well, it feels good to come down here this morning and just have all of this work done for the purlins. They're up, they're secure, because to be honest, it's been hanging over us for a little while and we've both been getting a bit frustrated while we've been waiting, but finally they're up. So we're going to leave the props up for about the next 7 days or so to let that lime mortar go off and get some more strength. But yeah, we want to get them down as soon as possible because having these 4 posts, where are they? Oh, there. Because yeah, having these in the way, it's pretty inconvenient trying to move things around.
Now Ricky's done and the dust has settled in here, I'm going to take my chance and get the sills sealed. Say that after a glass of wine. This is what I'm going to use. It's not got any colour, so hopefully once it's dry, you're not actually going to be able to tell it's on there. It takes 24 hours for it to fully cure, but in that time, I don't want any direct sun going on it, so I'm just going to whack a bit of shade cloth over it loosely, just to give it a little bit of protection. Remember me wanting to cover these windowsills to stop the lizards pooping on them? Well, I was right to. I give you Exhibit A.